Teacher Natalie here, and I have Teaching with Stephanie here with me. That's her Instagram handle, Teaching with Stephanie. So if you want to go look her up, she has fantastic content. So today we're going to have just a little chat with Stephanie because she is an amazing person I've met and worked with. So I'm excited to get to know her a little better and share her with you because Stephanie is awesome.
You're
Okay.
so nice.
So, Stephanie, tell us a little bit about your background. What or how did you get started doing what you're doing?
Awesome. So I'm like you. I always knew that I was going to be a teacher. Like kindergarten, we would go play school, and then we'd go to school and I would be playing school there. And then after school, I'd be the teacher again. Like I've always
Awesome.
been the teacher. I wanted to be a teacher. My mom was a teacher growing up. So I think I just thought, teaching's the best. If you want to be a scientist and do mathematician and write and read stories and do art projects, you get to do it all with teaching. It's the best.
Absolutely.
So I'm like,
Mhm.
I always knew I was going to be a teacher. And so I knew right away going to college, I'm going to be an elementary ed teacher, got through, and I started teaching in the brick and mortar. So I taught third grade for 1 year and I had my first son, and I wanted to stay home with him. It was so hard to just have that short maternity leave and then go back and not be able to be with him as a little baby. So after I finished that year, I became a stay at home mom for about 4 years. And I missed the teaching part. It was so hard to go, oh, I miss teaching. And I would seek it out wherever I could find it. I was a preschool teacher, a nanny. I even made lesson plans for like my preschool co-op group. I was like, oh, I'd love to do that. I'd love to
Awesome.
make these, like I'll make a whole year of lesson plans and then you guys can just use them. And they were like, okay, like you're really excited about this. And I'm like, I just missed teaching and creating these things. It's a real creative outlet for me, and I love working with kids. I found throughout my life that I'm always wanting to work with kids. I was a bank teller for a little while in college, and
Awesome.
whenever there was a little kid coming in, I would like jump up and be like, hello, do you want some coloring pages? Here's a sucker. And I'm like, clearly I need to
Oh.
be working with kids. So I always knew that that's my background in education, and it's always been something I wanted to do. Live in the dream.
Very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, it's so cool when right from the get-go, this is what you want to do. And you can you feel it. That's totally your passion. Working with kids, that's awesome. So you know you're in the right field. When you love what you do,
You
you are
do.
totally keep doing it.
Yes.
Very cool. So did you find Outschool first or did you start somewhere else first for
I
online teaching?
started with VIP Kid. So I started with them. I just signed my 8th contract. So about 3.5 years ago, started teaching with them. And it was so great to be able to do both. You get the early morning hours when
Mm-hmm.
kids aren't awake, hurry, run down, teach some kids, on the other side of the world, and get to know them and build these connections that I was like, oh, I'm so missing seeing those connections, watching the light bulb turn on and go,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. I was like, I missed that. And so it's so good to start with VIP Kid and to get into online teaching and learn what the techniques are like, how to kind of do the technology side a little bit of, you
Mhm.
know, turning on your camera and helping them with audio or things like that and going, okay, this is what it's like teaching online.
Yeah, yeah.
And then last summer, I jumped on the Outschool bandwagon. I was like, hey, that sounds kind of cool. And like I said, I already had a passion for creating lessons. That's one thing. I know it's so great that VIP Kid provides the lessons for you. And I'm grateful because I didn't have time when my kids were itty bitty to do that. But with Outschool, I love the aspect of creating my own.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm a lesson planning nerd. I love doing it. So for me, it was like, you mean I get to create what I want to teach? And it was so exciting. And I loved that idea. So started teaching with Outschool. My very first class was a mythological creatures class because
Really?
I saw like a parent request for it. And I thought, well, I love, all things Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, all
Mm-hmm.
the cool creatures. And so I was like, we'll do mythological creatures. We'll learn about those. And it's a really fun class. They get to create their own creature at the end. So that one's a fun class, but I've kind of moved into more academics where my background is. And I
Uh-huh.
do multiplication. So I do really focus in on multiplication strategies like you're doing with
Yes,
math.
yep,
Mine
I
is
teach
like
math.
multiplication camp. Let's get these memorized. Let's learn how it works. What is multiplication? And so I love that Outschool you can kind of have these weird two things like
Yeah.
mythology, multiplication, but it's funny how, I've had kids in one class jump over here and they're like, oh, well, this is the fun class. But my mom says I have to take this one. So I've
Oh.
got like both sides, like I'm appeasing both audiences
Uh-huh.
here.
That's
And it's
awesome.
really fun.
That sounds way cool. I wouldn't even thought to teach like myth mythology. That's totally showing you can teach whatever you love on
Yes.
Outschool. That is so cool. And I'm you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if you teach that in like mainstream school.
I don't think you don't teach necessarily mythological
Yeah.
creatures. It wasn't anything, but um, I in my brick and mortar teaching, I would always bring in like
There's
Harry Potter references. They knew I was a big Harry Potter fan, so I was
awesome.
like, this is a great way to kind of bring that in without any copyright things with Harry Potter. I would still get the kids that they've seen the show Onward or they love Percy
Hmm.
Jackson or they're a
Yeah.
Harry Potter book fan. So it's fun to have all those kids in there and to talk about how the creatures are different or what their origin stories are. And they're my kind of people.
That's awesome.
they love, they are so excited to take that class. So it's so fun
Hmm.
to have those kids there.
Yep, absolutely. A class with your passion. Yep, they want to be in there. So then you get, I don't know, you get those learners who are just so excited already to be there.
Yes.
Not like math.
Yes, but I you can make it that way, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. You can make it so it's fun to come to your math class. And I'm sure you
Yes.
do a fantastic job at that. So cool. You teach some fun classes on Outschool. And so I met Stephanie. Oh, I don't even know how long ago, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a year and a half or 2 years ago.
It
I don't.
must have been about a year and a half, almost 2 years, because that's how long I've been with VIP Kid. You've been longer, but a VIP Kid meetup at a Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Yes, Chick-fil-A is where it all happened. I met Stephanie there and just got to know each other there. I'm like, wait, what? We're so close. And then just started following her. Stephanie has a lot of great content on applying to Outschool, how to apply to Outschool, and lesson planning. All her YouTube videos are gold and all of her Instagram content. So check her
Thank
out if
you.
you haven't already. And I can list all of that down below. I'll list all of your links down below. So if you're interested, check her out. But yeah, that's how we met. And then just here and there, we again got to meet in person. So through Nancy Taylor's membership group is where I really, really got to connect with Stephanie and learn more about her and start to work with her. So our stories, like you said, are just so similar. We just kind of mesh and can really work together
Yes.
well. So I'm interested in your lesson planning. Like you say, you absolutely love lesson planning, but not a lot of people can say that. Like, what? Tell me
It's
more.
such a funny thing. It's such a nerdy thing, really. Like I said, I love lesson planning. I love the logistics of it. I love walking through the pacing and making sure it's appropriate for learners, really breaking down what are they going to learn, what's the goal, and going through how are we going to make sure they know that by the end of the lesson. It's always made sense to me. I remember going through um, and doing lesson planning in college and
Mhm.
walking through different formats and doing that, and I was like, this is so cool, right, guys? Like, this is so cool. Like, no, this is like, I'd rather be in another class right now. And I was like, oh, I love this part. So I already knew, like, all right, I'm a little strange with the lesson planning, but I loved doing it, creating it, and found a system that works for me that I've used. Like I said, I've done it for preschool co-ops. I've done it
Mhm.
for church, religious classes, things like that. I've done it all along just because that's something I like to do. And when I saw, Outschool, you can create your own classes.
Yeah.
I thought, one of the pain points for so many teachers is going, great, I'd like to teach XYZ, but I don't know how to teach that. And something I really want to promote and show people is that everybody has something they can teach. They just need a plan on how to do it. And so that's where I would like to come in and show you what you can do. Here's some learning activities. This is appropriate for this age group. This is how long it will take. And here's some ways to make it engaging and fun and for them to walk away with this experience. And so that's something that I try to do for Outschool teachers. I create tailor-made lesson plans for them because really everybody's going to be teaching it their own way. So you could have 1,000 classes listed on Outschool that, it's like we're both teaching multiplication,
Uh-huh.
but you're teaching it one way. You have this experience and education in resource teaching.
Mhm.
I'm over here with the brick and mortar third grade perspective going, this is how I would teach it. This is how I would get it memorized,
Mhm.
and so there's the two different ways. And that's where I come in making it really custom for each teacher and going, it's going to be custom for you. And so I'm excited to do that. I offer that for different Outschool teachers and have different plans and packages that kind of helps them create their own lesson plan.
That's awesome. And like you said, that's a huge pain point where I really want to do this, but they just get stuck on the lesson planning, and you eliminate that stress for them.
I
So,
hopefully do. Hopefully. I don't want you to be stressed about lesson planning.
no, let Stephanie do it. So, if I were a client interested in your services and creating a lesson plan, what, from my point of view, what would that look like? What would
Great
I have to
question.
do?
So I would start out with a consultation. We have a 30-minute Zoom meeting where we go back and forth on what are your ideas? What are you thinking of teaching? And if you don't have an idea, I help you come up with one based off of parent requests and kind of what we can niche down in to make it so you're not in such a competitive field. And I
Awesome.
help you kind of with that part of it. We talk about learning activities. I have some ideas, they have some ideas, and we kind of mash them together and go, okay, let's make a lesson plan and what we do. At the end of the consultation, I kind of say, like, okay, here's what we have. You'll start out doing this, you'll pique their interest this way. Here's the main part of the lesson. You'll have these learning activities, and then here's your conclusion. So I walk you through all of that at the end. And then if you decide to purchase a package, you will get different options. So there's 3 different options to choose from. One is the basic package, which is for a one-time class. It's just your basic format for one class. So like my mythological creatures class, they show up once and we teach about mythological creatures, they create their own, and then they leave. That's the one time. So that's the basic package. You would get a class listing form. So I fill out all the marketing side of putting it on Outschool. So the title, the summary, the age group, and all of that stuff, the class experience, what materials they're going to need. And you just copy and paste and go, okay, here we go. Once it's, once you send it out to Outschool, it will either get approved or denied. If it's denied, you just forward the email from Outschool to me and let me deal with that. It's guaranteed approval.
That's
So
awesome.
I make sure like you're not like, oh no, I paid all this money, I had her do it and it still got denied. You go, no, now it's your problem, Steph.
That's awesome.
So I deal with that part of it and I make sure it's approved. You also get the whole lesson format included in the package. So you get everything we talked about all typed up and pretty that you can use again and again for these lessons. And then you get a class listing picture. So you can use it for your class and go, here you go. Here's your picture that you can use and put on there. I try to make it really bright and colorful and appealing for teachers, as well as within the standards and suggestions of Outschool, so that it's the right size. It's really marketable for their Facebook and Instagram ads, and it's so much fun when you see those, by the way, pop up and you're like, that's my class.
Yes.
That's my class on my Instagram scroll right here. That's mine. So that's what's included in the basic package. In the course package, you get a whole course of lesson plans. So we'll have the lesson plan that we came up with, and then you get a course syllabus. You get added onto, the basic package. You get a course syllabus added onto that of, so let's say you're teaching the alphabet. We'll go through A, the letter sound, what examples, and maybe you're adding an animal with that. So we'll go through all of that for A, and I'll do the same for B, C, D, all of the
Awesome.
things you want to teach in a whole syllabus so that you can have them side by side, the lesson format and the syllabus when you're teaching and going, okay, when it says I'm teaching letter, what is it? Go to A, there it is. And you've got both of them side by side to have your whole curriculum laid out for you.
That's awesome.
And then the last package is the application package. With that one, after we kind of nail down what you want to teach, what your lesson plan is, and we have a course syllabus, I help you with your application. So I review everything that you type up in the application. We make sure all the grammar is correct, all the spelling is correct. I also make sure it's everything Outschool's looking for, and make sure you have all the information that they want, the details, and then make sure that the class experience question is from what I've typed up in the lesson plan. So you have it all typed up, ready to go. It's something that they would see in a real class listing. You've got that for that question. And then I also come up with a video script for you. So with your video script that you're going to apply with, I have it all typed up and written what you're going to say, everything on there. So you can just go, okay, I'm going to study the script, make a quick video, and it's way less intimidating when you have the script versus like, okay, grab my phone, hurry and say something, send it in. It makes it very professional. It's all about what you want to teach and your background. So it's all typed up for you, and it makes it so much easier to make that video. I know so many people get hung up on that. So that's what's included in the application. So after consultation, you choose one of those packages, and I send you the PDF accordingly. So that's what I do.
That's awesome. And it lets everyone who works with you just focus on teaching, not spending their time doing and researching all of this they can just teach, which is the best part. That's so cool.
Yes,
This
it
is
is the best
awesome.
part.
So cool. And along with what Stephanie does, she's doing all the lesson planning, and on my side, I can create like the technology, the Nearpod activities for your lesson. So it's it's going to be awesome to work with Stephanie here. And if you want those technology Nearpod lessons incorporated into your lessons, I am more than happy to create those activity side part of your lesson for you as well.
Yes, and that's the thing. People all the time will ask me, "Thank you. I love the lesson plan. This is exactly what I wanted. Now, can you make a lesson for me?" And I go, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't do that side of it." But it's so nice for me to now say, "But Natalie does, and
Yeah.
she's really good at it." So I'm so excited to refer my clients to you, and hopefully if they need the lesson planning side,
Mhm.
we can work in collaboration, and it makes it nice because we both are passionate about teaching and teaching online, so we work really well together.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I love how you're the lesson planning. That is your superpower. And I like the technology, the Nearpod side of it. That's what I'm good at. So they, like I said, they go hand in hand.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Well, you are so cool. So if you want to check out Stephanie's site, and I'll link that below her site. You can go check out all those packages she's laid out nicely. And I'll link her YouTube channel and Instagram handle so you can go find her, ask her any questions. If you have any questions about what she does, I'm sure she's happy to answer them for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um, Before we go, one last question. What is something you do in your free time or something fun about you? Tell us about you.
I am a soccer player.
Oh, cool.
I tell the kids in the summertime I'm a soccer player, in the wintertime I'm a skier. So
Oh, very fun.
I I love apparently I love doing things with my feet. I don't know. But I love playing soccer. That's my passion. I love doing stuff with soccer, and um, it's so much fun. But I also love skiing, which is why I live in Utah. It's
There you go.
got the best snow on earth. So
Uh
yeah,
huh. Absolutely great for skiing. I went once this winter.
yay!
It was a lot of fun. It's been a while
Yeah,
since I've been, but it's
yeah.
so much fun. Um, anything else you want to share about you, about what you do?
I
Advice?
just if you're, if you have questions or anything like that, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to answer questions about application, about lesson planning, or things like that. And when in doubt, we can always schedule that consultation, do a quick, thinking through and think tank of, would this work? Does
Mhm.
this work well with this? What are some activities I can do here? And it makes it really nice and easy when you have somebody to bounce ideas off of. So just jump in. I'm happy to help you with any of that.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Stephanie.
Yes, awesome. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.